So we all think of AI as this constant forward march of progress, right? But what if I told you its whole path to intelligence is, well, completely backward? Let's dive in.
It really all starts with a simple, kind of strange puzzle. Why can a machine absolutely master a game like chess, something that takes a human genius a lifetime to perfect? But something as simple as walking your dog on a bumpy trail is still a massive, massive challenge for even the most advanced robots. And it turns out this isn't just some weird quirk. It actually has a name: Moravec's paradox. It's this fascinating idea that the stuff we humans find incredibly difficult, like abstract math or grand strategy, was some of the first stuff AI absolutely crushed. But the basic, everyday things we do without even thinking, just seeing what's in front of us, moving around, using common sense, that stuff is the final frontier for machines.
Now, this paradox isn't just a cool piece of trivia. It reveals something fundamental. AI is basically growing up in a completely upside-down world compared to how we did.
Just look at this table. It lays it all out perfectly. Human evolution was a bottom-up job. We spent billions of years building this solid foundation of basic instincts: vision, balance, motor skills. Language came much later, and then, only at the very, very end, did we get to high-level stuff like calculus. AI? It did the exact opposite. It started at the top, aced logic and chess back in the 90s, then it cracked language, and now it's struggling with the easy stuff at the bottom.
So, why the total flip? Well, it all boils down to the hardware. We're carbon-based life. Our brains are these wonderfully messy, fuzzy neural networks. We are naturally brilliant at intuition and just getting the gist of things. For us, precise, rigid logic like math is hard. We have to train ourselves to do it. But for a silicon-based machine, it's the total opposite. Its binary core is built for pure, absolute precision. For a computer, calculating a million digits of pi is easy, but understanding a simple joke, that takes this huge, complex effort to simulate our fuzzy world.
And this is where things get really weird. This backward development has led to a massive contradiction, something that's right at the heart of the current AI boom. And it almost sounds crazy when you first hear it.
I mean, think about it for a second. We already have perfect tools for math, right? A simple calculator or something like Wolfram Alpha can solve incredibly complex equations with perfect accuracy instantly. So why are we spending billions of dollars and using the energy of a small city to teach a fuzzy neural network like ChatGPT how to do math kind of badly? Well, because it was never really about the math. The goal isn't to build a better calculator. Think of math as a workout. It's a gym for the AI's brain. Forcing a language model to struggle with strict logical rules actually strengthens its reasoning abilities for everything else, whether it's writing code or figuring out a legal contract. It's all about teaching the AI to translate the chaos of human language into the structure of logic, and hopefully evolve it from just a tool into something that can actually reason. And this quote just sums up the whole wild idea perfectly. The whole industry is trying to force a soft neural network to master hard logic. And the hope is that in that struggle, something new is created, not just a correct answer, but a real reasoning mind.
Okay, so that's the grand vision. But there's another way to look at all this, a much more provocative one. What if this incredibly expensive, difficult path isn't evolution at all? What if it's actually devolution?
See, for us humans, our path was basically locked in. We were stuck with our squishy biological hardware. We had no choice but to use this fuzzy system to figure out logic. But AI does have a choice. It already has perfect, efficient hardware for logic, the computer itself. And yet, we're forcing it to ignore its natural strengths and instead simulate our own inefficient, roundabout path. It's kind of like we're blind to what the machine is already good at.
To really get what devolution means here, just follow the flow of information on this slide. But let's go from the bottom up. At the very bottom, step 1, you have raw physical reality, the universe. Then in step 2, our biology, our senses, process that reality. In step 3, we compress all those rich experiences into these abstract things we call words. And only then, way up at the top in step 4, does the AI even start its work. It's not learning from reality. It's learning from the statistical shadows our words leave behind.
So why call it a devolution? Isn't that a strong word? Well, yeah, because it's a step backward in 3 really important ways. First, it's a move from essence to surface. It studies the description of the sun, not the sun itself.
Second, it's a move from efficiency to just brute force. It burns incredible amounts of energy to do what our little 20-watt brain does naturally. And finally, it's a move away from diversity. Real evolution thrives on random quirks and mistakes, but we're trying to align all that out of AI.
And all of this, all of it, points to the single biggest limitation of every large AI model out there today. It's like this invisible wall that they just can't seem to get past.
You see, today's AI is, for all intents and purposes, trapped inside a prison made of tokens. A token is basically just a piece of a word. The AI doesn't see a forest or feel the rain. It just sees the tokens for the word forest or the word rain. It's only processing our highly compressed, totally filtered, and often biased snapshots of the world, not the world itself. There's a great analogy for this. It's like the AI is a blind scholar in a massive library. It's read every book ever written about the sun. It can analyze poetry about it, tell you its chemical composition, but it has never, ever actually felt the warmth of the sun on its face. It knows the word, but it doesn't know the thing. So just how much information gets thrown away when you turn reality into a token? The answer is pretty much everything. We are talking well over 99%. The word apple has none of its weight, its crunch, its taste, the way the light reflects off its skin. All of that real-world data is just gone. And that is the great multi-trillion-dollar irony of our time, isn't it? We are pouring unbelievable amounts of money and talent into building what we hope will be a godlike intelligence, but we're building this entire skyscraper on a foundation of second-hand, incomplete, hand-me-down information.
So that leaves us with one final, huge question to think about. If this entire incredible AI boom is a bubble built on nothing more than a shadow of the real world, what happens when we finally ask it to step out of the library and into the sunlight? What happens when it's forced to deal with actual reality, not just our description of it?